Hey, all you lore keepers out there. Welcome back to more Mass Effect. Like I said last time, we're going to be going around and talking to all of our crew members, and especially Liara, because we literally just got her added to the team. So, Caden first.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Well, they know about the stonewalling you've had from the Council.
They deserve to know what we're up against.
They're on your side. They're pissed about the resistance we're getting, especially from our side. I'll have a better handle on all of it when my head stops hurting. Another L2 flare-up.
Anything I can do?
No, Commander, it'll settle down. It's rough sometimes, but they spike higher than a lot of L3s. Except for you, of course. Besides, I fared a lot better than some after Kinetics was through.
Got a story there, Olenko?
You know the records about the biotic training out on Jump Zero? They're all classified. Because the Alliance made mistakes.
Don't we all?
After first contact, Kinetics was set up to track Element Zero exposures and develop implants for humans. Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Kinetics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
I see.
The only experts would have to be aliens.
Dead on. Turians, actually. That's why Kinetics kept it a secret. They were afraid of what people back home would think, asking the Turians for help when we just fought a war with them.
The Asari would have been more acceptable than the Turians.
Yes, but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
Okay.
Is there some reason we couldn't learn it on our own?
They didn't know where to start. Hell, it took a couple of years to even link biotics and Ezo. Forget trying to get the kids to move stuff. They had trouble just helping them not break their own limbs. And their choice of teachers didn't help much.
So...
I'm sure Kinetics did what they thought was best.
It wasn't best for us. They brought in an ex-military Turian named Commander Vernus. A real hard-ass. He basically had a free pass to break us if it would turn out a decent biotic. Kind of spiraled from there, Commander.
Did he ever face charges for that?
He got his, yeah. But like everything else at Jump Zero, it was under the table. The less said, the better. Anyway, this is ancient stuff. I walked it off a long time ago. I should get back to my duties, Commander. We're here to make history, not rehash it.
Alright.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Alrighty. So we finally got a little bit more of Caden's backstory. He opened up to us a lot more. Let's start a med gel here, just in case.
Yes,
might
Commander?
have
Is there something you need?
Nope.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
She gets more fleshed out in the second game, I know that, so that's pretty cool. Alright, Liara.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up,
I'm just glad we got there in time.
So am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
Sounds dangerous. And lonely.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms or stumble across a small band of mercenaries or privateers, but I was always careful. Until the Geth followed me to Artemis Tau, I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
I understand that.
You must enjoy something about it.
I love my work. Seeking out history's lost secrets has a special appeal for me. You were actually touched by working Prothean technology. That is why I find you so fascinating, Commander.
Don't try to study me.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No, I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about Asari culture.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
That's disgusting. No, it's just how the Asari work. It's not gross, it's just their culture, you know?
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
So I find it interesting that she says pass the traits on to our daughters even though they're monogender. So, like, they consider themselves females, I guess? I don't know. Either way.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Age
You
difference.
Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
Okay.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
Benezia never told you her partner's name?
Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood. Though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face, it is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
Okay. Benezia.
Do you know why Benezia joined up
well.
with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
Okay. Well, that's all we can do for now with this.
I should go.
Liara.
Goodbye, Shepard.
But very interesting stuff. So glad to have talked with her about that stuff. So very interesting. Now if we go down the elevator here, this is where the rest of our crew is. So let's talk to Garrus here.
Commander, good to see you.
You've been with CSEC a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I'll bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
What happened? Why were you investigating them?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the psychos. I remember this one Elcor diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs. Had the station in a bit of a panic.
In Elcor,
But
wow.
this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
Goodbye.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
Krogan testicles.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set.
Oh, they have 4. Okay, that's funny.
Somebody's making a killing out there.
What did you do about the geneticist?
Did not
I
need to
brought
know
in
that
some
about
of his
Rex.
employees for interrogation to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
Yeah? Go on.
One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them.
Ooh.
Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
That's terrible.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs. But they wouldn't listen.
Well, you can't get them all.
No, but letting him get away like that, All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
That is a tough choice.
I suppose I can see both sides. But what's done is done.
I suppose. Can't waste too much time worrying about it now. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salion?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
Let me handle
I'll check
that.
out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
Absolutely. Alright, so we have a nice little mission from Garrus now. It's very cool. What do you got, Ashley?
Before I go, you said you're serving with Commander Shepard now? We saw him on the news here. He's cute. Later, sis.
Tell me you didn't hear that.
Your sister, I assume?
Until I get home and kill her. That's Sarah, the youngest. Surprised to see you here, sir. Thought you'd be chatting up what's-her-name? Tassoni?
Liara. Why would you think that?
Scuttlebutt says you got a bit of a thing for her.
Mm.
I could understand why. The crew's off limits with the regs against fraternization. And at least she looks like a woman.
You think I'm interested in Liara because she's the only one I'm allowed to date?
So you are interested in her. Of course, it could be politics. Alien diplomat's daughter, us under orders to make nice with the bug-eyed monsters. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on Family Mail.
Damn, Ashley. Crazy.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Okay.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I made chief. First thing he did was salute.
Huh.
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while Dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and Dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
Oh, I relate to that so much. I have 3 sisters.
Where did you grow up?
All over. Same as you, I expect. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
I gotcha.
I was an only child, but I get the idea. At least one of my parents was always on duty.
Yeah, military families, eh? With schedules like that, it's a wonder we ever have kids anymore. Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Sounds like that situation didn't last.
Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, 'cause he figured it was past time they did the deed. She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
That's fair.
Did anything happen while you were home?
My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was going to end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
Your sister's something else. But you didn't mention your father at all. Was he on deployment?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there.
Yeah, why not?
I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
What's this crap?
I didn't know you liked classical literature.
Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had 12 versions when he retired.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though. So behave.
Behave.
I thought you said he was dead.
You know, from heaven, wherever that is. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
Nah.
Everyone has the right to believe what they want. Says so in the Alliance Charter. Only with fancier words.
I'm glad you're open-minded about it. I've met a few people who were really weirded out by my faith. Because I work in space, I can't believe in a higher power? Jeez. Hello, have you people looked out the window? How can you look at this galaxy and not believe in something? I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
That's alright. How are we doing?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least, I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Hey,
Yeah.
want me to ask her about her sex life? Might be illuminating.
Okay.
That's between you and her.
Scuttlebutt says otherwise. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
Okay.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, Skipper.
Ashley is very pushy. Hey, Rex.
So, we've got Saren on the run.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Good. He's rotten. To the core. I could tell as soon as I met him.
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
Okay.
I would have if I thought it was important.
Okay.
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the Terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching. Couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him, so I got the hell out. Didn't even wait to get paid.
That's fair.
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
Fair enough.
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
Okay.
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
Dang. Okay.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Okay, we've already been over all that with him.
So
Never
long,
mind.
Rex.
Shepard.
That's a very interesting little story that he just told us. So, don't really know what else to say about that, but Tally.
Oh, hello, Shepard.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me, especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth it feels like we're not even moving, and the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
You'll get used to it.
But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Sounds like the pilgrimage isn't just about finding resources for the fleet. Maybe it's about teaching you to appreciate your people and culture.
You're probably right. We Quarians spend our whole lives traveling. But really, we never leave home. The pilgrimage has given me a whole new perspective on our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them. But maybe they just wanted a different life.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually. But we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
Very fair. Alright.
I should go.
See you later.
Good talking, Tally. Okay, so we finally got all that out of our systems. I think we will do one planet before we, or at least one system before we end off officially, because otherwise this is just a talking episode. And while the talking episodes are fine and need to happen sometimes, we can do something else. So, this shouldn't take too long anyway. So, let's go to the star map here, or galaxy map,
Good timing, Commander. We got a transmission coming in from the Citadel. Top priority clearance.
Is it the ambassador?
It's not his signature. I think it's from the Council. I'll patch it through to the comm room.
To the comm room, okay. Sure.
Commander Shepard, we've received information that may be critical to your mission against Saren.
What kind of information?
We've received an urgent message from one of our infiltration regiments in the Traverse.
You mean spies?
Spectres tend to attract attention, Commander, but they are only one arm of the Council. Special task groups are often a better option for monitoring developing situations.
We currently have several infiltration units scattered throughout the border regions of Citadel space. This particular unit was gathering intel on Saren.
What did they find?
Unfortunately, the message we received was little more than static. The infiltration team must be in a situation where they can't set up proper interstellar communications. But the message was sent on a channel reserved for mission-critical communications. Whatever they were trying to tell us, we know it was important. Considering your interest in Saren, we thought you might want to investigate this. Find out what happened to our team. The signal originated from the planet Vermeer.
Vermeer,
I'll look
okay.
into it.
The Council prefers not to become involved in the specifics of Spectre activities. We only want you to be aware of all your options, including Vermeer. Good luck, Commander Shepard. We will keep you advised if we learn anything else.
Alright, so we have a new main mission that we can tackle. We're not going to do that yet, though. We have a lot of other things that we can do still. So, don't need to be on Therum anymore. We're still in the Artemis Tau clusters. I want to go to Athens. We've actually already been to Macedon before. We've already cleared that area. But if we go to Athens, there are things for us to survey here, so... I don't think there's actually any place we can land, according to my notes here, so... Salamis is nothing. Sounds delicious, though. I love salami. Proteus. So we can survey that. We get a gas deposit. Up here we have Cirque. Can survey this and find another gas deposit. Nausicaa. Okay. I've heard Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind is a pretty cool anime. I've not watched it, though. And Pharos. So, Turian insignia recovered. Scans of the planet. Pharos revealed an abandoned base on its moon. The recon team found nothing of interest, but much of the debris was marked with a Magna Colony insignia. Okay. So, nothing else here, though. So, yeah, that was all 3 of the planets that we can do here in Athens. So let's back out here. We've already taken care of Knossos, and I believe we've taken care of Sparta. Let me double check that. Yep, so Artemis Tau is 100% done, so let me double check here. Because I think there's something specific we can do. Okay, I think we might be able to go back to the Citadel and talk to the fan one more time. I'm gonna try it out just to see what happens.
So, Liara, you've spent 50 years studying Prothean ruins and artifacts.
Our travels now are somewhat different from my normal excavations. I would prefer lengthier studies and fewer explosions.
I think you've spoken for scientists everywhere, Liara.
Oh, man. So I chose Liara and Ashley specifically because I wanted to see how they interacted with each other. It didn't disappoint. It's about what I expected. So, here on the Citadel, I just went through all of our equipment and changed up all of it for us 3.
Is it common for human women to be front-rank fighters, Chief Williams? I know that Solarian women do not serve in the military.
It's becoming more common, but it took a long time to prove that ladies could handle an assault rifle or a shotgun.
Such enforced roles are common in dual-sex societies. I was fortunate not to have to deal with that particular burden.
Yeah, they're getting along a lot better than I expected them to. So that's nice. I really thought, like, catfights would start between them just because of how Ashley acted around us towards Liara, but they seem to be getting along fine, so maybe they had a talk before we started, who knows. But I'm going to go over here to where the fan is supposed to be, because we did do a main mission, so I think he's going to be here. I think. If we can finish that off, that would be awesome. So, he's always right around here. Yep, there he is.
Oh, sure, I can return that for you.
Thanks. Hasn't worked well since I bought it. Hey, are you refunding his stuff?
Here you go. Your account will be credited.
You did! You took his return! Look, I'm telling you, I bought this here. Why won't you return it?
I can't take it back unless...
I know. Unless I have a proof of purchase.
Gotta love it. Alright, Conrad.
Commander, I've been waiting for you to get back. I've got an idea, and I wanted to run it by you.
Go ahead.
What's on your mind?
With so many human colonies being attacked, I'm not sure that one Spectre is enough. What if you signed me on as another Spectre?
Why would you want to be a Spectre, Conrad?
Because I wanted to show the Council what humanity can do, just like you. I'd make a great Spectre. I want to be with you, fighting the good fight like you did on Elysium during the Skillian Blitz.
I believe you, Conrad. But there's another fight that needs you.
What? I don't understand.
You know what keeps me going out here? Knowing that people back home are keeping humanity strong.
You're right. I just got so caught up in all of it. I wanted to help. I'll go home. Thanks for setting me straight.
He sounds so disappointed, but like, bro, you're literally gonna kill yourself if you try that. Okay, I'm glad to have that mission done. Let's level up. Spectre training. Advanced Unity is really great. Ashley, let's go for fitness. And Liara. Oh boy, here we go. Definitely want you to have lift, warp, singularity. Singularity's pretty good, I think. I would like to get electronics though as well. That's nice. Let's get singularity. Unlock barrier. I want to like unlock all the powers first before anything else. Singularity is actually really good. Basically what Singularity does is it creates basically like it's almost like a black hole, and then enemies get like sucked into it, like suctioned into it. It's really, really helpful. Stasis is pretty dang good. And then obviously we all know I love lift so very much. Great throw. And I could get barrier to level up again. Sure, let's do that. She is very balanced all in all. Biotic abilities, recharge time, okay. And health restored and charge time on a squad healing, okay. So that's okay. The improved recharge time of the biotic abilities is really, really good, but everything else is kind of meh. I'd rather just work on the specific abilities for now. But either way, I think that is going to do it for this mission. There's not much else to do here at the Citadel as of now, so we're going to go back to CSEC here. And I'm just going to take the elevator before we head off.
A Solarian excavation team has run into an unexpected problem after unearthing a Prothean dig site. Hanar protesters have blockaded the dig site, claiming that artifacts of the Enkindlers, as the Hanar call them, should not be disturbed.
I think we've heard this.
The excavation team has appealed to Hanar representatives on the Citadel to reach a diplomatic solution.
Okay. I think we've heard that before, actually, but that's alright. So, anyways, in the next video, we will find something else to do. What the heck was that, Liara? Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate you as always. See you next time.